Hi, I'm Britt.
And my name is Alissa.
And this is SkeleTales.
And this is the podcast where we strive to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
This may not be relatable to you, but let's just pretend for 1 second that you have a dog.
Oh, okay.
And you take this very cute, fuzzy, scrappy dog on a walk, and it's sniffing things, and it's barking at things, and then it takes a shit in your neighbor's yard.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm there.
And you look around, and you realize that nobody is around, and you don't have a dog poo bag to pick that shit up with.
No!
So you say, well, let's keep going. And you keep walking. Well, Grandma saw that shit.
Grandma
literally.
saw it. Oh my God. We used to let our dog shit in the middle of the road. Which is like grossest. Not all the time, but occasionally. And I always thought it was so funny when he shit. I don't know why. I mean, I was little. But
right.
I swear, I'm cursed for the rest of my life. Karma, grandma,
coming back.
Whatever it is, I will step in dog shit if it's within a 5-mile radius of me. I will find it. I will step in it.
I don't know any dogs that shit in the road. It actually baffles me when dogs are pooing in the middle of the sidewalk, where I'm like, the grass is right there, fella.
Well, that's
Poo
the
in
same
the grass
thing.
like a natural instinct. Why are you pooing on the cement?
Probably because a kid is walking them and not giving them enough leash room to actually get to the grass, maybe it's really snowy. I just remember it a couple times, this specifically, and then that I don't feel like it was a thing picking up your dog's poop when we were
not
kids.
When we were kids. No, definitely not. Oh,
Yeah.
Man, it's a thing now. I bet you hear about it on Nextdoor every day, because I do.
Yeah, I'm the one writing the messages. I hear about it all the time. I'm like, what asshole just let your dog shit in my yard?
Do you ever post, do you ever catch it on camera and post, I feel like people, here's this asshole not picking up after his dog, and puts the photo up, proof, evidence, they walked away from the shit.
Oh, there's actually all sorts of discussions. Is this bear shit? Is this dog shit? Someone's like, someone's dog pooped. Everyone's like, actually, that's bear shit. Man, I think that looks more like raccoon scat. And they use all sorts of names. Scat, poop, shit, mountain lion, bobcat, all sorts. There's a wide variety of poo pictures on our Nextdoor.
Nice.
Nice. So
it's a good thread.
Grandma sees it all. She
does,
sees it
man.
all. But
it's more the guilt. You get home, and then that guilt just is like, ugh. She's right behind you, and she's like, you should have picked that up. Somebody's going to step in that. You know it. And then you're just like, Grandma, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't have any modern guilt for that sort of thing, but I do have residual guilt from my childhood of not picking up dog poop. So,
Alissa, do we just talk about dog shit and grandma's guilting us?
No, we don't, Britt. We talk about
long pause.
It's like, how often? We talk about true tales of the strange, unusual, and paranormal.
That's right.
Yes.
We've got good stories that we share with you, dear listeners.
Yeah, we've got ghost stories, cryptids. Today, I've got some near-death experiences and
I love those.
Reincarnation stories.
Excelente. Ooh, I have a special treat for you today. I have a Jada update.
Oh,
now,
yay! Little Jada.
I don't know if you remember last time I told you Elise had that nightmare and has not been seen talking to Jada since then. And so we thought maybe that nightmare kind of sprung something within Jada to seek the afterlife.
Well, and the nightmare was the car had the roof ripped off.
Yeah, the nightmare was literally how Jada died. So Elise is in the car with Jada, and there's a big truck, and the roof gets ripped off of the car at Christmas time, and Elise wakes up, in terror. So I went and had coffee with Elisa's mom, Julie, this week, which was incredible. And we were almost done, and she was like, "Oh, wait, I have to tell you about Jada." And I was like, thank God she's still with us. Or maybe I shouldn't be grateful for that, but I was grateful. So Julie and Elise are walking down the sidewalk towards the park, and all of a sudden, Elise shouts out, Jada! And she sprints forward several feet and starts talking with Jada. And imagine in the movies, like when someone's talking to an imaginary friend and then it pans out like someone's talking to nobody. That's exactly what it was like. She's chit-chatting with Jada, talking, and Julie's just standing back, kind of is surprised, excited, in awe. And Julie says, hey, would Jada want to come over and stand, close to me? And Julie had their dog Diamond with her, and Elise goes, Mom, Jada doesn't like Diamond. So after Jada leaves, Elise comes back and she's talking with Julie, and she says that Jada was talking about her new baby brother. Oh. And she said that Jada is 23 years old and that they talked about other things that Julie couldn't really understand. Like it just talking quickly and not necessarily. I mean, she's 4 now, so it wasn't necessarily like 4-year-olds have concise conversations, really. But yeah, it got me thinking. First of all, this was not in their house. This was in the neighborhood. So I was like, is Jada confined to the neighborhood and not just Elisa's house? Like, is she wandering the neighborhood? I do know her mom lives in the neighborhood still because her mom is on social media. I may or may not have stalked Jada's family.
Oh my God, Britt. Okay. Crazy. Oh my gosh.
I need to know these things. I'm like,
no, you're not
so
crazy.
intrigued.
I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know that her mom was in the neighborhood still.
At least I'm pretty sure her mom's not on social media a ton, but like from sort of the last bits of information I got, I think she is.
Does Jada have a little brother then?
Okay. So again, the mom's not super active on social media, but Jada's older sister is active on social media, and she has a little baby son. Who she's posted about. And so I'm wondering if, like, in Jada's mind, if this new little baby would-be nephew is like a baby brother to her because she, like, doesn't understand.
Okay. And then, wait, she said that Jada's 23 or 24?
She said she's 23. Well, this one I feel not sure about because 4-year-olds don't really know how to gauge age very well. And so I don't know if Jada specifically said, I'm 23, or if Elise guessed. If Jada were alive today, she would be 28 years old.
Okay.
So not far off from 23. But then I also asked, like, my son not too long ago how old he thought I was, and he was like, you're 60. I was like, what? No, I'm not.
Spot on. Nailed it. The fact that Jada appears older, I think I always envisioned.
Isn't that intriguing?
Yeah, I always envisioned Elise playing with a little kid, like a little girl. Like,
I think she was 12 when she passed away.
Yeah, so the fact that she's like playing, like, she's like, oh no, she's 23, like that, it seems like adult. So right? That is interesting.
Like, is she aging, or did Elise just guess that she's 23? I don't know. Julie truly thought at the beginning of all of this that Jada was like an imaginary friend, because Jada showed up at early stages of the pandemic where they weren't playing with any friends. Everybody's at home. We're not seeing any strangers. When Elise saw Jada's picture on the phone that she is the girl that passed away, Julie was like, oh shit, she really isn't an imaginary friend. And then, it's kind of snowballed from there. But it got me thinking, though, like, I think that Elise really needed Jada, but I also think Jada really needed Elise too. And they've like been there for each other. And I think that is this like sweet friendship, but like Jada's older, more like a babysitter type friendship. So I don't know. So I know that I teased out there that we were I'm bringing the Ouija board to Julie's. our plans got derailed, but I'm not telling you the date. I have it in my calendar. We are actually going to do it, and I will bring a recorder so like that we can document this. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe something will, but I'll keep you posted. So this is not our last Jada update, hopefully, but I was very excited to know that she's like wandering the neighborhood. Oh, and Julie did say that the path that they were walking was the direction where the accident took place. Like it was in that, not vicinity, but walking in that area, that direction.
Well, I wonder how many other little kids in the neighborhood have an imaginary friend that shows up, or anyone else has had weird experiences, you know, like if she is just making her rounds. And
like, are there any other like neighborhood kids that are seeing Jada around?
Yeah.
Oh,
also
shit.
The ghost boundary, right?
Right. That's where I was a little baffled too, where I'm like, wait, so the ghost boundary is past Alissa's house. Like this goes into the neighborhood. Is it just that area from where the accident happened to our neighborhood? Like, I don't know.
I think you should put it on next door. Hypothetically speaking, it's always a good way to start. Solid introduction to any conversation. Let us know. I love that. Was that all about your update?
Yes,
okay.
That was all. I was pretty jazzed though.
Yeah, I like that there's been another spotting, and I'm very curious to see how your Ouija session goes. I'm
scared, but I'm going to do it. And I spoke last time we did Ouija, I spoke with our podcast psychic friend, Alex, and he said a big pointer is when you go into doing the Ouija, not to be scared. So I'm trying to like put myself up for it.
But Jada seems like such a sweet pea. What are you scared of?
Oh, it's not that I'm scared of Jada, but like you're opening the portal to all of the spirits. Like
I do feel.
I really want Jada to come, but I really don't want some weird, like, transient demon to show
one that's going to hold you down at night or something. Grab your ankles as you run up the stairs. You're
making me more scared. Stop.
Possess your chickens so they're like come into your room at night, peck your eyeballs out. Okay. Better Julie's house than yours. That's what I always say. Just open that portal.
Over there.
Over there. Not here. So speaking of children seeing things and saying things and weird things, I've got some stories about some kiddos who have freaked their parents out by saying weird ass shit.
Oh my God. Perfect segue.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mostly referring to their past lives. And so a while back, I had shared a TikTok, I think even in the Facebook group, about this girl who's like, my little daughter, keeps freaking me out by saying these things, like saying
Is she the British girl?
Yes, exactly. Yes, the British girl who's just like, I used to come here with my granddaughter. And she's like, like what? And so anyway, I found an article about that. But then in the comments section of this article, it's a BuzzFeed article. And it says, these parents are convinced their children have had past lives and the stories are eerie. And it's by Alex Gurley with a U. So can I just get into it and start reading you a couple of them?
Please. Yes.
All right. The first one is from NYC, and they say, apparently when I was 4, I told my dad that I was originally born in England and I got on a big boat to come to New York. Only it didn't make it because we ran into some ice. I went on to tell him that I slipped off the deck as the boat was sinking, drowning in the freezing water while music was playing. He was a little concerned about all the details I had, but didn't think too much about it until a few years later when James Cameron's Titanic movie came out. He was taken aback when he realized that the ship sank due to hitting an iceberg and that the ship's band played on the deck until they drowned, exactly as I described. The next morning, he tried to ask me about it, but I didn't remember anything that I told him and only knew about the Titanic from the movie, convincing my dad with absolute certainty that in my past life, I died on the RMS Titanic. On a strange side note, I've always had a fear of drowning in dark, cold water. Take that as you will.
I feel a little disappointed that the dad didn't know about the Titanic until James Cameron's movie.
He was taken aback that it got sunk by an iceberg. I was like,
what?
What?
What is this ship you call Titanic?
I think it's more the band playing on the deck. I think that
true.
was the
all
part.
the little details.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then they slipped off the desk because it kind of is like she had a dream he described to him, and then James Cameron made a movie about it. Did you know that this is not to do with near-death experiences? Did you know that while filming the Titanic, the cast and crew got poisoned or someone spiked their clam chowder with PCP? Like the whole cast and crew ended up going to the hospital freaking on PCP.
Isn't PCP the one where you like can go so crazy that people will kill somebody and then not even have any recollection of it when they come out of it?
I have no idea. I've never dabbled in the angel dust. I have no idea. What I do know of it is that there's an old movie, like a Don't Do Drugs movie, and Helen Hunt. Do you remember that actress? Was she in the Titanic? No, she wasn't.
I love Helen Hunt. Oh wait, no. Who I'm thinking of Holly Hunt. Is that
Holly Hunter is who you're thinking about?
Thank you. I like her.
Helen Hunt is from Castaway. She was in, I think, Twister. Totally
she was in that
90s
sitcom. Yeah.
Yes.
That lovey one.
But I do remember that she was in a Don't Do Drugs movie where she took some PCP and just throws herself out a window screaming. She's screaming and then she jumps out a window and like falls like 2 stories or something. So that's what I know PCP does to you, apparently.
I mean, complete accuracy. Yes.
That's about it. Yeah, apparently some people were laughing. Some people were crying. I'm pretty sure James Cameron got stabbed with a pen. He did. I think he got someone stabbed him with a pen.
Serious?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, people commit murders and don't even know they're doing it on the PCP.
Speaking of that, have you seen these ads for some show on Netflix that's coming out about people who are sleepwalking and commit murder while they're sleepwalking?
I did not. I will watch that. But I have heard of the story of the sleepwalking guy who went and killed his wife's family.
Yeah, but he's not the only one. Yes, I have. He like got in the car, drove over there, killed his like in-laws, or at least his one of them.
Has no recollection of it.
Yeah, and had a history.
Got off too.
Yeah,
got off of. Yeah, didn't go to jail.
He's not the only one. Apparently, there's enough to make like a whole Netflix documentary.
Girl,
so
I'm watching it. Yeah, watching it.
Fascinating, terrifying, but fascinating. Also, don't marry any sleepwalkers. Sorry, sleepwalkers out there. But yikes.
Liam's a sleepwalker.
He's gonna kill you all.
No, I think
sorry.
No, but I was gonna tell you one of his sleepwalking stories.
Does it involve him peeing in a closet?
No, but peeing on a pile of books.
Oh!
Did I tell you that?
I think maybe this does sound familiar.
Yeah, I think that's the worst that'll happen. Maybe we'll get peed on, and that's fine. Just don't kill us.
Yeah, I'd rather get peed on than killed, I suppose, if I had to choose.
Okay, we got one comment in on Totally Derailed.
Okay, one. Sorry. If you've done PCP, let us know what it's like. Did you jump out of window?
Did you kill someone?
Yeah. Were you sleepwalking? No. Did you kill someone? On the PCP. Okay. All right. So my next story. So Laura says, as a 2-year-old, I told my family about how I died during childbirth. I also spoke of how I did housework, including very specific details of using a washboard for laundry. I told a funeral director I had been reincarnated at the age of 3 and often spoke of seeing people and things that others couldn't see.
Yes. Love it.
That's what I'm talking about.
For it.
People,
that's what I'm talking about.
When kids know too much. I don't even know how to use a washboard. What the fuck? What's the point?
I mean, do you even use soap, or are you just like making music with it?
I don't know. Let's get into the most interesting point of that story.
The washboard.
How to use a washboard. Okay, moving on. Paula Paula says, this is not about me, but my older brother. We lived in Minnesota, and one time when we were both really young, there was a tornado warning, and my mom went over to the window to check on the clouds. She always did this to see if it was a drill or a real warning. My brother jumped up and frantically screamed at my mom to stay away from the windows because that's how he had died in his last life. Later, when he had calmed down a bit, she asked him what he had meant, and he told her that the last time he had been alive, he was watching a storm through the window. They had suddenly blown in, and the next thing he remembered is being with his new mom. It really freaked her out.
Alissa, this has me thinking about irrational fears. How the chick said now she has like an insane fear of dark, cold waters.
Oh.
I have an insane fear of dark waters. Was that from a past life? I have an insane fear of escalators. Was I eaten by one in my past
That
life?
one is an insane fear. The dark waters, I feel like, but an escalator is a bizarre one to be afraid of. I'm sorry.
Is it? I have a photo to share you. Nope,
Yeah.
a photo to share with you of a man's shoe that is halfway in an escalator. His foot was eaten by an escalator. Like he probably died.
He probably died from that shoe injury. That's an interesting theory because I was thinking, what is my irrational fear? And I always go to phone books. It's not a fear. It's just an intense hatred. But mine is my hair catching on fire.
It is. Yes. Well, and then that is very specific. But what about fire in general? Like, were you just burnt?
I am very scared of fire.
fire.
Like, catching on fire seems like a horrible, horrible way to go. But I do have an irrational
Past life
fear.
witch.
Yeah.
Past life witch.
If there is a flame anywhere around, I will, within a minute or two, every few minutes, ask if my hair is on fire, just to check, just a safety check.
Safety. Is it on fire?
Is it on fire? Yeah. So any irrational fears you have that you can't explain may be linked
past life
to a past life. I love this theory.
Totally.
That's solved. It's not a theory. Fact. Okay.
Fact.
Speaking of water, Molly says, I'm fairly certain my son drowned in a past life. Ever since he was a baby, he had a strong fear of getting his head wet. I would literally have to fight him to wash his hair. I asked him one bath time when he was 3 why he always made such a big fuss about it, and he said that he remembered that he couldn't breathe when the water was on his head.
Oh my God. I've had nightmares. I've had nightmares where I drowned a lot, actually. This week, in fact,
What?
I had one where a tidal wave was coming towards me and I was like, I'm fucking dead.
Oh.
I had one where I was in a room and water's just filling up in the room slowly. And I'm like, I'm dead. What do I do? I am very scared of drowning. I don't want to go that way.
I was going to say that might be your PTSD from your actual near drowning death on the lake that time. But also,
good point.
I thought I shared a dream with you about a tidal wave at one point, and I can't remember. I must have looked it up because Mitch was naked coming in. Remember? No? Okay. Anyway, if I didn't, I meant to. But we try not to talk about our dreams on the podcast.
From what I researched about the tidal wave, it means that big changes are happening or big changes are coming, like big things are happening. Yeah.
I would say that's accurate, knowing all the nitty gritty, deep, dark secrets you have, Britt.
That's right.
Big
Things are coming. Oh, man. These are good. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm having fun. All night? Can we just do this all night?
They're great, right? This is super fun. Cam says, when my son was about 2.5, he pointed to a black Mercedes while we were driving and said, I died in a car like that.
Yep.
So then K2 says, this one's heartwarming. You're going to like this one, Britt, as I roll my eyes. No. It says, when my daughter was very young, she told me I was right. I asked her what she was right about, and she said, when I was in heaven, before I was in your belly, I asked God if you could be my mom. I was right that you were the best mom to pick. I still get goosebumps when I think about it.
Babe, that is a heart warmer.
I thought that was so sweet. This one from Mind of Icarus says, my brother thinks he's a snake stuck in a human's body. I mean,
I bet his
all?
brother's the kind that's like gets scales tattooed on his body.
Dude, or like, yeah, and then gets
Splits
his like,
tongue.
splits his tongue and gets his eyeballs tattooed.
Oh, totally, for sure.
I want my kids to express themselves and feel free to, but I really don't want them to do
But
that.
don't be a snake,
please. So Kim says, I'm pregnant with my second child, and my 5-year-old talks about what we will do when his baby returns. Quote unquote. He always uses the term returns. He also randomly will tell me how he visited a place when he was my age. It's odd.
I love that. Like, it's like the baby it was his brother, we didn't know if it was a brother or not, huh? The sibling was like a sibling in a past life. Oh, he's returning. He's coming back to me. And then we get to hang out. Oh, I love that. I've always thought about that with my current family where I'm like, I'm just so sad of like, I die. Like, I love the idea of like, maybe we will be like together again, except like next time you'll be like my dad and I'll be your kid. And it's going to be this crazy, strange world.
That's crazy because this all reminds me of my brother always saying, when I was big and you were little. And then Milo being like, well, when I came into my body, which is part of this whole thing too. It's like a lot of kids they forget if they have like past life memories, they usually forget them by the age of 4 or 5. Like even
it's a sweet spot where they can talk still and still remember the past or whatever.
Exactly. So another person goes on and says, my son came home with a stack of drawings, and when I asked about one of the pictures, he explained that it was from when you and I were twins. He added that he knew that I was supposed to have been a twin, but my sibling did not survive birth, and he became my son so they could be together again. I have never told my son that my mother had miscarried my twin so many years ago. That's what you're talking about right then, kind of.
Literally, premonitions. That's amazing. That's what I want. That's the creme de la creme. Oh, my God.
Right?
So good.
They get to be together again.
It's her twin. It's her son. So good. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Another woman says, when my daughter was 4 years old, she saw a 9/11 memorial post and pointed out the Twin Towers. She told me that she had previously worked there until one day when the building got very hot. She said that she tried to escape with her friends, but wasn't able to and ended up jumping out of a window to fly like a bird.
Oh my shit. The little girl said that?
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck. Oh my God. Okay, goosebumps.
That was so specific. Freaky.
So
like
specific.
Yeah, I mean, that shit tragically
No little
happened.
child would know that.
No
little child would know that.
I know.
Oh my God. So good.
Okay, I'm just going to end on a weird one because I like it.
Okay.
This is my kind of kid. Okay. As a little boy, my son told me a bizarre and very detailed story about previously living on Saturn. He said that he had 3 children and worked in a very tall building filled with vehicles that helped people evacuate to Earth. I checked all the movies and TV shows my son had watched to see if he was making it up and couldn't find anything remotely similar. Proof aliens exist. That's it. The end. I'm over. Your story time.
I mean, child-proofed. Truly.
I mean, that'd be pretty crazy. Are we from aliens? Like, I mean, like...
That's not the first I've heard of children talking about that, though, of like living on different planets and things and truly believing that they're not from planet. Oh, no, I lived on this other planet out in nowhere. Like,
really?
Man, where did I hear it? I probably instantly deleted it because I was like, stupid. I should have sent it to you. Oh, I have a story.
Yay, let's hear it.
Maybe I can tell. It's not a kid story, but it is fun.
Okay.
This story is from Donna. She says, I was asleep. I wasn't dreaming. When all of a sudden I woke up and a woman appeared at the foot of my bed. She was there. She looked like she was from the army or a stewardess from the 20s or 40s. She stood looking straight ahead with a cap on. Her makeup was minimal but perfect. She was pretty. Her eyes were large and brown, and her lips had a perfect Cupid's bow. She stood so still like a sentinel, like the Queen's Guard would, just looking straight ahead. I just kept staring at her like, who the fuck are you? I kept staring and staring until she blinked really fast and tilted her head in my direction, like she knew something was there but wouldn't acknowledge it. She was becoming agitated. I could see it. What did I do? I just kept staring. I was still trying to figure out who and why she was here. The staring just kept agitating her more until she turned her head and looked me right in the eye.
No!
She turned her head back forward and stared ahead as if angry and confused. Like, stop staring at me already. Then she fully turned her head towards me and walked, coming closer with squinted eyes as if she was saying, am I really seeing what I'm seeing? Then was about 1 foot away from me and took a swipe at me. She was trying to see if I was real.
What?
Then I swiped back because I didn't know that she was going to be aggressive. And then she was gone. Guys, she came to me. There was no chance that it's related to a movie I watched or anything. If time travel exists, she came to me. It was like I was in her dream, not the other way around. So then I asked Donna, I was very curious about this story. I was like, this seems like a ghost woman. And I was like, were you just so terrified that she's swiping at you? Like, I would have wet myself. And she said that she wasn't scared of that figure at all. And that it felt like Donna was the ghost. And the woman was more concerned as to why she was there, why Donna was there, than the ghost. So it was like the ghostly woman was seeing Donna as a ghost.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain
No,
it.
that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like Donna is like haunting her in whatever time she's in.
Yes. And then I was like, that would be fucking freaky if somebody's like staring at like if you're living in the 1940s or whatever, and all of a sudden you look down and there's this other human staring at you, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Did it say where this took place?
No, I could ask her. She didn't tell me.
Because like my brain, okay, what are some of the possibilities? Like maybe this was a near-death experience for this woman back in the war. Some bomb exploded and she's like goes somewhere. Or some sort of like wartime experiment when they're just like messing with all sorts of
machinery.
Yeah.
Strange experiments.
Yes, exactly. There's one I think it's the Philadelphia Project, where like supposedly a submarine disappeared and then it reappeared, and like a bunch of the crewmen that were on it were then like melded into the submarine. They were like all stuck into it. And I forget what kind of war experiment.
Whoa.
It's a movie. Maybe it was just a movie, but based on supposed like something that actually happened.
Yes.
Ooh, that's kind of freaky. I love that.
I dove it down a little bit of a rabbit hole where I was like, who else has had a my ghost thought I was a ghost story? I couldn't find anything. So if there's anybody out there who thinks their ghost thought they were a ghost, I am intrigued. I love this concept. Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, they couldn't believe your ghost can't believe you're there. Well, that might also be a disbelief of their dead, like that spoiler, the movie The Others. That's a whole movie about ghosts that think that other people are ghosts that you told me about.
Circa 1997.
You're the one who told me about that movie, and it scared the bejesus out of me.
It's one of my favorite scary movies of all time.
Okay, so I was still like, I don't know. Again, I just like was on this. I want to read about, I've done a lot of ghost stories lately. I just was like, I want something different, some near-death experiences. And so this all sort of relates to, and this all sort of relates to what we were talking about you wonder if when you die and then you could be your mom's sister or your mom's mom or, your brother's baby or, how you're connected. And so this story, it says it comes from Mystery Wire. I don't know what the hell that is. Okay. But I am intrigued. If I click on Mystery Wire, the very first article, the title page of this website is Harry Reid, What We Believe About UFOs. I'm in.
Oh my God.
Subscribe.
Oh my God.
Okay, anyway, so basically, there's this fellow named Danian Brinkley, and he has died 3 times. He got hit by a bolt of lightning in 1975. And it was a bolt of lightning hit a telephone pole and it traveled down the phone line and slammed into his body, melting the phone he was holding. Does that really happen? You know when they say don't make a phone call during like a lightning storm? Is this
I've never
why?
heard that. I only just recently heard that you shouldn't take showers during lightning storms.
Yes. Okay.
Didn't know that.
This is in the same wheelhouse of don't take showers, don't use the phone, because apparently this fella, Danian, was talking on the phone back in 1975. A lightning bolt struck a telephone pole, traveled down the phone line, and he says, it went into the side of my head, above my ear. It went down my spine. It welded the nails of my heels of my shoes to the floor. It threw me up in the air, and I see the ceiling. It slams me back down, a ball of fire coming through the room and blinds me. I am burning. I am on fire. I am paralyzed. He says that he left his body and he floated along with the ambulance as it raced to the hospital, and he watched the doctors try to save him, but he was dead. And then he awoke 28 minutes later in the morgue. Worst nightmare.
No, for real?
Yes, like they declared him dead. He watched it happen from the air.
8 minutes?
Yep, 28 minutes later.
In like this insanely burnt to a crisp body?
Uh-huh. And then during those 28 minutes, Brinkley says his consciousness traveled through a tunnel where he encountered a spiritual being of light and underwent a grueling replay of his entire life, as seen not only from his own perspective, but everyone he's ever encountered. And this is his quote from that experience. He says, I saw my entire life past. Okay, this quote is not, maybe he did get affected by the lightning bolt. Okay. Because maybe that's why it's in quotes, because the author, who I should have mentioned, the author of this was George Knapp, was like, this isn't me writing, just FYI everyone. Anyway, so basically he sees his entire life on an IMAX and nothing is missed. He's like, you know how many hairs were in the nose of the doctor who pulled you from your mother. You know everything that there is from the time you open your eyes, and you have complete cognitive awareness, no doubt about it. And that's all happening at the same time. Then you watch the same life from a second person's point of view, as if you were your own best friend. So you can see how silly, how funny, how dumb, how stupid it was, but it's one of your best friends, so there's no judgments, just looking. And then you literally become every person that you ever encounter, and you feel the direct results of your interaction between you and that person. So no one gets away with anyone or anything. And then in a flash, he was back to his severely injured body.
That's fascinating. Oh my God. Also, were you in the freezer and you just had to take your foot and just like knock open that door and be like, hey, out there?
Dude, that is like seriously one of my like worst fears, or like not, leave me out for a few days. We've talked about this, I think, right? Bring back the parlor, leave me there, make sure I'm good and dead before anyone starts cutting into anything.
The claws on coffins when people were buried alive.
No, yes.
Absolute
I can't. Little
nightmares.
bells and whatnot. So that part of it. Anyway, he died a couple other times. I think similar things happened.
That's incredible, though.
But that,
so fascinating.
Yeah, the idea that you encounter yourself through everybody else too. Like that idea that everybody is connected and
yeah. When you think about that, like seeing yourself from like your best friend perspective and then like a whole world perspective, how does that make you feel? Are you like, okay, I'd be fine with that? Or are you like, oh, I should maybe like feed more hungry people? Like, how do you feel whenever you think about that?
Yeah, like it does make me want to be a better person. Right? Not I guess. It does. It makes me, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a terrible person. I'm not like an awful person, but I have room for improvement.
Your adjectives just get not bad, horrible, awful.
I did. When I read that, I was like, oh no. Oh no, it was my initial reaction. I'm like, oh God, yeah. I don't want to see all the terrible, like cringy things I've done in my life replayed to me. I don't want to.
I think for me, I've got those cringy moments, but they don't outweigh the like fun, good moments too. I feel like the good certainly outweighs the like that one time I yelled really loudly at my kid in public. Like we can just like, that didn't really happen.
Yeah. I hope that the good outweighs the negative, but I already replay all the negative, cringy things in bed while I'm trying to fall asleep. So I do half of this.
Yeah. Already happening. For sure.
Exactly. But yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. It almost sounds like something from a movie. That is really cool. Oh. I've got one quick short indie one.
It.
Can we do it?
Yeah,
do we have time?
Please. Yeah, totally.
Okay. This one comes from Smo. And they say, my mom told me this story. When I was 5, we were visiting a family friend who lived near a cliff's edge that dropped straight down to a busy highway. I was playing in a little red wagon that was held in place to prevent it from rolling by some rocks. The son of the family friend came over and moved the rocks that kept it in place. I, being 5, didn't notice what was going on at all. No one noticed till I was almost at the cliff edge.
Oh, no.
My mom tried to run as fast as she could, but knew that she would not be able to get to me in time. Then she saw me being lifted out of the wagon by my arms. I was looking straight up at something, then softly sat down. The wagon kept going, rolling off the edge of the cliff. She ran up to me frantically. I started to cry, Uncle Ricky hurt my wrist, and showed her my red wrist with finger marks. Uncle Ricky was my mom's brother who had passed away just a few months earlier. She told me from that day forth, she always believed in the paranormal.
Oh my God, that would make me cry. Oh my God.
Uncle Ricky.
That one's really good. That was good. Because I was like, that's pretty crazy. He got pulled up and, saw that happen. But then to name who did it and be mad at him.
And it had happened. Uncle Ricky had passed so recently, like this little 5-year-old knew who it was.
Yes, exactly.
And I love that they weren't concerned, oh, I was going off a cliff's edge. They were like, Uncle Ricky hurt me.
Yeah, he grabbed me too. Oh my gosh. I would cry. Whenever I think about cliffs, my brother had a friend named Cliff who fell off a cliff and died.
Oh, no. Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, stop.
He didn't eat the PCP.
His name was
mushrooms,
Cliff.
And he fell off a cliff.
Oh my God.
He was somewhere and you're maybe in Texas. I don't know. It was like somewhere out in the West, I'm pretty sure.
Why did his parents name him Cliff?
Did they have a
premonition? What
Clifford.
Are the fucking chances? Oh my God.
I would say not good, but then at the same time, you meet like Michael Candlemaker. Oh, guess what Michael Candlemaker does for a living?
He makes fucking candles.
All right. Well, we were all over the place.
Ooh, that's good.
My goodness.
Oh, yeah. If you have, dear listeners, a story to share, we have so many different ways that you can share a story with us. We have an email where you can write in your story, and that is
skeletalespodcast@gmail.com. You can also call our hotline.
That's 302-689-DEAD, 302-689-3323. We are on all of the socials where you can message us there even and comment and enjoy and like and follow.
Yeah. Share, review, do all of those things. Anything else, Britt?
Oh, yes. One more thing. One more thing real quick.
Okay.
Alissa.
Yeah.
Hunt y'all later.
Hunt you later.
Good night.
Good night.